All right. So we are here with Ayman Arab, who has, you can tell us how big your agency is actually, Ayman. Yeah, we started working together a number of months ago. But yeah, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do, how many you could do revenue clients. You have quite a large YouTube agency. So yeah, start us
Yeah,
off, introduce yourself, tell us who you are.
yeah, for sure. So first of all, thanks for having me on. So quick intro on myself. Basically, I'll tell you how many clients and revenue we have, just so we can get that out of the way. So clients, we're at about like 18 clients. And then revenue, we're floating around like 55K a month, approximately in that range. And then in terms of what we do, so we are primarily a YouTube agency, so YouTube organic, and we do the whole process end to end. So the client just records. So that's ideation, scripting, they record, and we do the editing, thumbnail, SEO, posting to YouTube. So there's a lot of like cogs in the machine. And that's the YouTube side. And then we also have another side where we do like short form content, but just editing now. Excuse me. And then yeah, but we have more clients on the YouTube side. And yeah, that's what we do.
Perfect. And what were you? So you're at 55K now and 18 clients or some absurd number of clients. Where were you in terms of revenue or clients wise when we started working together?
Yep. So when we started working together, correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. I believe I was at like it was like 15K a month, 20. I think it was like right up around that point.
Right. So you effectively added almost $40,000 in MRR over the span of what, like
Yeah.
6 months?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's insane. Cool. And what would you say was some of the main things that you were struggling when we first started working? And then yeah, you can expand on that.
Yeah. So when we first started working together, I was originally using Trello as my project management software. And then through working with you guys, we transitioned over into Airtable. And the reason, one thing a lot of people say, oh, the software doesn't matter that you use, they all work, whatever. But it's not true because the problem that happened with Trello is as I scaled, I had so many like individual Kanban boards. And some clients we had long form and short form boards. So it's like two boards per client. So at one point I'd open the Trello and there's just like 30 boards. And it's like, no way I'm going in there and updating all that. It became like scary, So then I knew this was an issue. I didn't know the solution. And then luckily you guys came in and you said, okay, we need to use Airtable because it like has all the data like in one place. I have a Kanban board where I see all the clients' long form videos at once and like their stages, etc. And if ever I need to see like, hey, what is this editor doing? I can like search them up or just filter it and then I'll see like what they're doing. And then the next best thing is like we have something in Airtable called interfaces. So now when my editors log in the morning, like they already see like, hey, what's assigned to me. They also get like a ping in Slack. And it's removed me a lot from like, oh, text this person manually, move this in like Trello, and then a lot of like garbage. Oh, looking through all these Trello boards. Oh, what do I have to update? Now I just have everything one place. It's like a company brain and it's amazing. And I plugged in an operations manager into the system. So now I don't do a lot of like project management really. Yeah.
At all. Awesome. And then when it comes to, so obviously you run a YouTube agency, which is high volume. You're putting out dozens of pieces of content per week and probably not maybe in the hundreds, but possibly getting there into the hundreds on a monthly basis. So with a high volume business like yours, especially on editing side, I would guess there's a lot of Q&A. So if you can expand slightly on how we sort of structured your Q&A process and how we automated it, so the person now responsible for the Q&A actually gets pinged, and we're tracking quality by editors and stuff like that.
Yeah. So basically, when it comes to video production and really just content creation type businesses in general, there's like revisions, right? There's like internal. So before I used to do a lot of the quality checking. Now I'm currently ramping someone up to do it. But essentially, before working with you guys, it was like the editor would send us the video like in Slack pretty much because we abandoned Trello. And then they would send it in Slack with a Google Drive link. And then I would manually type in like, oh, 7 minutes in, change this, and then 10 minutes in, change that, and like type it in Slack and like send it as a message like that. That was the old process. And then through working with you guys implemented a QA system, which was integrated into the project management software. which is great for many reasons, which I'll get into in a second. But pretty much how the software works, or how the system works, is there's like the video, it'll say like, oh, video 71, that's just like the unit number. And then it'll have like a table with like all the revisions. I can like click like, hey, add new row. And then I select which type of revision it is. And then I put in the start timestamp, end timestamp, and then I have a box for notes. So I like type in, what's wrong at that timestamp. And it was a great system because at the end of it, I just checked a box and it pushed it to Slack into the right editor channel. And yeah, so that's kind of what the QA process was before and after.
Awesome.
And oh yeah, one more
it.
thing. Sorry to cut you off there, Tony. Yeah, one more thing was like, yeah, you mentioned the thing where you can track like, oh, which editors make how many, or which editors do this type of mistake the most and mistakes in general the most. So now I can see like performance and stuff. And that allows me to do like performance bonuses for editors, and also implement kind of like what sales teams do. I can do like a PIP. I forget what it stands for, but basically like improvement
plan or something.
Yeah. So it's like if an editor like is like constantly messing up, I can like, I have the data. So it's like, it's cool to like track stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. Ryan, you got any questions?
Cool. I was gonna just say, I mean, you gave you gave the people a lot of details. So in terms of other, so we talked about like the hard benefits, right? You went from 15 to 55. Your editing team is like what, like more than 10 people now, I think, right? 10 to 20 people.
We're right up around like 9, I think.
9. Okay. Yeah. So it's like, it's substantially bigger business than when you started. But I was wondering if you could share any other benefits of working with us that you found. Like what was your experience of working with Tony and myself and then the other members of the OpsKings?
Yeah, I would say the experience was great overall working with you guys, because it's like, oh, if I have a question in Slack, I just like ask a question and then either you guys would answer or one of your developers, Nathan, he was super chill. Shout out to him. He would answer. And then you guys would like take the time to like send me the looms if I like ask a question. I know not a lot of service providers do that because it requires more than just like clicking some buttons. So overall, I would say your guys' care level for me, at least, or your clients, is like, 10 out of 10. And I see like the effort you guys put in like day in and day out, and it's like much appreciated.
Awesome. Appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, we treat you the best. We hate everybody else.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're special.
Yeah, everybody else is bad. Yeah, I mean, is there anything else, Tony? Any other question? Anything else you wanted to add before we wrap, Ayman?
That's pretty much it, Ayman. If you have some closing remarks, go for it. If not, we're gonna wrap it.
Yeah, I'll say like if anyone's on the fence of working with these guys, like just book the call. Like that's it. That's all you got to do. Free consulting session. They'll talk to you, and then like if it works, or it'll work. I know it'll work. So just talk to these guys. But yeah.
Awesome, Ayman. Appreciate it so much.
Thanks, Ayman.
Got you, man. Thanks, guys.